morning, beer runners. I am back with an all-new product review, and I am actually reviewing a product that has not even hit the shelves yet. This is still a prototype that I was lucky enough to get the chance to test, and this is actually from a line of products that I've had my eyes on for quite a while, and I've been hoping to get my hands on, no pun intended. But I am speaking, of course, if you follow me on Instagram, about these new turtle gloves, kind of flip over mittens. They actually don't have an official name yet, like I said, since they are a prototype. But as I mentioned, I've had my eye on turtle gloves for a while. I've heard phenomenal things about their products and have been really wanting to test them, so I am happy I finally got the chance to do so. But these have been phenomenal, especially as the weather has just gotten a lot colder outside, and a lot more variable. It could be cold, it could be windy, it could be rainy, and these really are very durable, but also very multifunctional, multi-use, and that's kind of what I want to focus on in today's review. But just to kind of look at the product, it's very thin material. I can't really show you, but just like a profile of the actual material itself. It's really thin, kind of sleek, shiny feel to it. Very soft, very smooth, but you wouldn't expect it to be all that warm, like I said, because it just doesn't seem like a lot of material there. It's not insulated or anything like that necessarily. Nothing inside to keep your hands extra warm, but the material itself is pretty weather resistant, so relatively water resistant, definitely wind resistant, and so what it's really good at is keeping the temperature of your hands and holding it inside of the glove, and insulating your hands to keep them warm. It's a lot better than traditional gloves I've used. I've read in the past that mittens do keep your hands a lot more warmer than gloves, just because it keeps your fingers together, so it just conserves that body heat, and these are definitely fantastic at that. I use these for anything. I mean, my hands really start to get cold when temperatures are in about the 50s. I'll even do, sometimes I'll be running in a t-shirt and shorts and have to put gloves on just because my hands start to ice up a little bit. So these have been phenomenal for those cooler, not necessarily cold, but just as something to, like I said, just to keep your hands a little bit warmer than they traditionally would be. But also, as it continues to get even colder than that, what I found is if it dips below, if we're getting down to like low 30s or even below 30, what I'll do is they are, like I said, just because there isn't a ton of material, it might start to get a little bit colder than these would be able to withstand, and so I'll just wear a pair of gloves underneath or something like that. And just, like I said, because of the material they use and how it holds the temperature in, gloves that I've worn in the past that couldn't make it past like 40 degrees, with these over top are able to maintain their temperature and keep my hands warm. So it's just a thin pair of gloves and then the turtle gloves over top. That's been able to sustain me for any of the runs that I've done so far. Temperatures here haven't really gotten far below 30s. We're probably still high 20s is the coldest it's gotten, I would say, but even still have had no issues. Another thing that I really like about these, and what makes them, I think, more useful than a lot of other products on the market, is how versatile they are. So like I said, you can use these for a variety of different temperatures, and you can kind of customize how you wear them based on the temperature outside. So primarily you have the mitten form, as I talked about, but then what you can do is fold this top part over, and this is actually the way that I most often wear these, just because it has been a little bit warmer. And so this just opens up the front, and what that does is, if you might have the same problem I do, is my hands are usually really cold when I first start out a run, but as I warm up, especially with these holding the temperature inside, my hands start to sweat, it starts to get a little humid, a little muggy inside the glove, so just opening this up allows it to vent while still keeping my fingers nice and warm. I can still ball my fists up and keep them relatively protected from the elements, but it just relieves some of that humidity that builds up inside the glove. Like I said, it just provides an air vent, and I'll still leave my thumb covered, just because my thumb being on top tends to get cold faster than the rest of my fingers. So that's the number 2 way that you can wear these, and definitely the one that I wear most often. Obviously next, you can go ahead and take that thumb out if you'd like. If your hands are really starting to heat up, you can just continue to fold that top piece down, free up your fingers, and just have a pair of fingerless gloves. Obviously going to let your hands breathe nice and easy while still keeping the core of your hand relatively warm. I've done this especially on races. Actually, the turkey trot that I ran a couple weeks ago, when I was at maximum effort towards the end, I was definitely starting to burn up. Had to open the gloves up just so my hands could breathe and cool off a little bit, but definitely needed that full protection in the beginning when I was nice and cold. So those are kind of all of the ways that you can wear these. You can even, if they start to get in the way, just slide them up onto your arm if you want to get them out of the way. They are a good size, and like I said, just have a lot of functions, a lot of different ways that you can wear them. And so because of that larger size, they are easy to just kind of slide up your arm and out of the way if you just want to free up your hands totally. So like I said, a fantastic product, very easy to use, and has so many different functions depending on the weather. This is something that I am now wearing on virtually all of my winter runs, unless it gets above 55, and even then, if it's rainy, I'm still going to wear these to keep my hands protected. And that actually reminds me to bring up a great point. In the rain, like I mentioned before, these are slightly water resistant, not totally water resistant, but they do a pretty solid job. We have had a lot of cold, rainy days, and especially for me, doing my morning runs, that means I'm doing long runs in the rain, in the cold, and it usually takes, I would say, probably about even up to an hour, hour and a half before these really start to soak through. So even though the material is thin, it is a very durable material that does a good job keeping your hands warm, keeping your hands dry for those long winter runs. So if you are looking for just an easy stocking stuffer this holiday season, or something for yourself, just again to provide an extra layer of comfort, extra layer of protection to your hands on your longer winter runs, would highly recommend checking out Turtle gloves. These ones specifically, as I mentioned, are a prototype, so they're not yet available to purchase, but they have plenty of similar products on their website that you can check out. Cannot recommend these highly enough. They are fantastic and have been a game changer for my winter running. So there you have it, Turtle gloves. Definitely check them out. I'll include a discount code below if you are interested. As with most of the products I get to test here, I did receive these as part of being one of the Bib Brave Pro ambassadors, so shout out to them for giving me the opportunity to test these out. Awesome product, definitely worth checking out. So I hope you are enjoying your winter training so far. I hope you check out a pair of the Turtle gloves, and until I see you again, enjoy your running, enjoy your training, and I'll see you around. Cheers.